Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, this morning I was looking through some videos on the endless bottomless pit that is YouTube, and I found the video that Kate Kavanaugh, I don't know if she posted it today or if it was yesterday, but anyways, I'll link that down in the description below. But with that being said, that kind of inspired this video. Basically, I don't remember what the name of that, I could look it up real quick, but basically, she was talking about how she felt like she wasn't progressing as much as she wanted to, or as much as she felt like she needed to. So, haven't we all been there at one time or another? So, this video is more or less kind of just for me to be able to look back and be like, hey, look, I did do stuff during that time of year, because I also I feel the same way. I feel like you don't always get as much as you want done when you want to get done. I know some thoughts that I've had as a new author. Am I doing enough? Am I working on my books enough? Am I editing? Am I creating new content? Am I all of these different things that go into writing a book and into publishing a book? Am I doing enough of those things? And it is a little hard for me because I do have a 2-year-old daughter, and she needs to come first to an extent. And I know that's horrible, but she does come first. But with that being said, my writing needs to come pretty close to first as well, just because I do eventually want this to be something that I can put food on the table for her, or I can give her the best birthday ever, or whatever. I want this to be able to be something more than it is obviously now, because it's not really much at the moment, which is fine. I don't do this to make money. I that would be nice. That would be a good thing as well. But really, my books are for my own. First of all, they're an excellent way for me to get my creative energy out. I have a lot of creative energy, and I need an outlet of some sort, so my books help with that. Stinking lawnmower. The other thing that they help with is getting some stories that I've had in my heart and my head for a long time out into the world where people can actually read them and enjoy them. So those are a couple things that I like for my books, especially, wow, it's hard to talk. Another thing that I think a lot is, am I good enough? Am I good enough to be an author? Am I good enough to put content out in the world that people are actually going to want to read, or in this case, watch? Is that going to be something that is a viable option for me? And then the last thing, and I'm sure I am not the only one that has thought this, is this book going to work? I can't tell you how many times I've sat down and I've reworked one scene because it's not fitting the way I want it to within the world of my book. Is it going to work? Heck if I know. Do you know if it's going to work? You don't. As an author, you just don't. You kind of wing it. Sometimes you plot, sometimes you pants, and sometimes you just pray that it's going to turn out the way you want it to. Is it going to? Finished project will tell you for sure. But so with those being said, I came up with a list of milestones. There are some others on here that are not on here because some of them are in the works and I have yet to announce them yet. So there's that. But these are some milestones that I've done within 2019. I do have a paper down here that's keeping my brain where it needs to be. So if I'm looking down a lot, that's why. So my first milestone was I released my very first self-published book at the start of this year. It was February, I want to say, February or March. And that book in and of itself, I started writing it the beginning-ish, middle-ish of last year, and it took me until the end of November to finish it, because I finished it with Nano. And that in and of itself is a huge accomplishment. I am really proud of that book. It isn't. I do think I'm gonna pull it down from Amazon at some point and re-edit it because I feel like it's not quite where I want it to be. But it is published. I am technically at this point a published author, which is incredible, and I never thought I would actually be able to say that. This next one is kind of important to me because, like I said, I have a 2-year-old daughter. This entire year I've been working for my father-in-law. He owns a martial arts business. I just stopped working for him this last week, which is going to help a lot with the writing process. But with that being said, I have a 2-year-old daughter. I worked this entire last year and a little bit of the year before for a business that took a lot of my time. And then, of course, just having a husband and needing to take care of things at home and all that stuff. But between all of that, I wrote nearly 7,000 words. Or, that's not right, 70,000 words. Is that how you say that number? My husband's sitting over here.
Yes, it is.
To be exact, where is it? It is currently at 69,018 words. And frankly, I'm kind of proud of that. I would like for it to be more. It would be kind of cool to like bump that up get to 100,000 words before the end of this year, which currently it's September, so I really do think that's possible, especially because of some of the things that are coming up in the next ones. The next one is I got 2 series started. And that's hard to say. In other words, I got 2 separate book series. One of them is currently, I have about 3 in it. Well, they're not finished, but in my brain there's at least 3, maybe 5. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure that out down the line. This other one, I think, is going to be a trilogy as well. But both of those got started within the last year. And that makes me super duper excited because the one that I'm putting most of my energy and excitement into right now is I don't know if I'm going to release the one of them. I'm not going to release the series name yet, but soon, very, very soon, I will release the series name. But I have absolutely loved it, and it's weird. And I think I may have talked about this in a different video, but it's more fantasy-ish, kind of, but it's set in our world, but there's dragons in it, and in the next book in this series, there's going to be more mystical, magical creatures in it, and I'm super duper excited. I've never ever had okay, I take that back. When I was 11, I wrote a fantasy. That was basically the last time I wrote a fantasy, so I'm super excited about this one. It is coming along great. With that being said, that leads into my next one, which is I have in this new series, book 1 is nearly complete. I have like maybe 4 or 5 scenes left to finish book 1. Granted, book 1 is completely pantsed, so there's going to be a lot of back through and edit and all that kind of stuff. But at this point, book 1 is almost completely done, and I am super duper excited. I am loving it. Sorry, my lighting just went weird. I am loving it. It is something that I'm super duper proud of. I'm honestly, again, didn't expect myself to write a fantasy, let alone one that's turned into this massive thing. It is now, like I said, around 3 books. I kind of want to extend it to 5. We'll see what happens. But then with that being said, going into the next one, book 2 of this series, I have the first 3 chapters, 3 or 4 chapters. I can't remember. I can pull it up, but plotted out already. I'm doing a new method. It's new to me. It's not new to the world. This was a method that J.K. Rowling does for her books, and I want to see how I do with it. So I might end up making a video about that at a later date. But for right now, I have not. But so I have 3 to 4 chapters of that completely plotted out, and I know exactly where it's going to go, which is weird because I don't normally plot out books, but I feel like with it being a series, I kind of have to be able to keep the structural integrity of who the characters are throughout. And yes, they are going to evolve and round out and all that fun stuff. You don't want flat characters, you want round characters. I get that. But with that being said, I still want it to be cohesive. So there's that. I'm super excited for that. With that as well, leading into the next one, both books 2 and 3, I have a list, which is in my bag, which I'm not going to grab, but I have a list of plot points that are figured out for each one. I sat in the car the other day, my daughter was asleep, and so I sat in the car and let her sleep because I did not want to poke the sleeping bear, and I got hit with inspiration. It was raining and dreary and perfect weather for writing books, and I came up with 2 gigantic lists of things that I want to happen within this series, and within books 2 and 3 in particular. So I am really excited about that, and I feel like that in and of itself, figuring out where you want to go, is super duper important, because if you have no idea where you're going, it's just there's not going to be an end point. With this book and first, like I said, I did pants most of it, but I had a start point and an end point in mind, and my goal was to get them from the start point to the end point. And like I said, they're just about there. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm really excited about that as well. So moving on, the next one that is a thing that I've done this year, and I'm also really proud of myself for this one, especially given the issues that we have had towards the beginning of the year. But I have started 7 different books this year. Granted, none of those are finished at the moment, and that is okay. But with that being said, we had a loss in the family in March, and that devastated everyone in the family. Like the person who passed was he was like the center of the family, kind of. And so when he passed away, I did not get as much writing done as I wanted to, because we had other things that were going on and things had to come first. But at this point, the world is moving on. He won't be forgotten, but I'm able to focus and be able to do some stuff as well. So the next thing, and this one I am really excited about, with The Rising Tide, which is my debut novel, I created the cover for it myself, the original cover for it. But with that being said, I decided that it was not professional enough and that I needed to up my game with my book cover. I wasn't selling like I wanted to. Granted, a lot of that could be helped with more ad spend, but I came to the conclusion that a big part of that was that my cover was not professional. It wasn't eye-catching. It wasn't something that you saw and you needed to click on. So with that being said, I changed my book cover, and we'll see within a couple weeks if that has helped my book sales or not. We will see. But as soon as I get a copy in the mail, I will show it to you guys because I am super duper excited about it. It is amazing, and I can't wait to see. And even if nothing happens with it, having it in all its glory it just makes me happy, and I'm really excited. So, moving on, I have 2 more. My Facebook author page has grown a lot. Like a lot. Not as much as I would like for it to, because, who wouldn't want 1 million people watching their stuff? But, okay, I take that back. That is a ridiculous amount. But, I'm over, I want to say, I'm like 150 people, which for a debut novel, and for just not having a lot of a big fan base at this point, that's kind of a lot. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And then my author tube, which I wish was more regular, but at this point it's semi-regular, and that is all I can ask for. At least it's getting somewhere. This is the second video I've posted this week, and hopefully this is a good trend that I continue on. With those being said, I have 2 things for you guys to do. Number 1, down in the comments below, share your Facebook page or author page, whatever you have, and your author tubes. And other than that, I challenge you guys to go through and make a milestone list for yourselves. Not even for content. If you want to do it for content and have a video about it, post your video links down below and I will make sure to watch them. But until that point, at least have it for your own. Like I wrote this down. It's green, so it's hard to see. But I wrote this down and I'm going to probably keep it for at least a little bit because these are milestones that I did myself within the last 9 months, I guess. A little less than 9 months. This has been since February. So 7 months. But so that is my challenge for you guys. I hope you guys take this opportunity to realize how awesome you guys are and figure out the milestones that you guys have done this within this year. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.